I've never met a CEO that doesn't believe their people are important. The problem is where on the priority list.
Leadership is wanting people to win more than you want them to win with you.
It is absolutely impossible to live on planet Earth as one person, try to communicate to 7 billion, and think you're going to stay in the game. You're not. It's impossible.
Rise and shine!
It's Entspresso time!
Hey, it's everyone Carmichael, and I am not a morning person. I'm not. But when you start your day with a routine that inspires you consistently, like watching one of these videos, it will change your life. So let's start your day off right together. Grab your coffee, know that I believe in you, and get ready for a shot of Entspresso from Simon Sinek.
I wake up every morning.
Espresso, keep me going.
I wake up every morning.
There are two currencies in the infinite game, will and resources. Resources is money. You need money to stay in the game, but you need the will of the people as well. And the problem is that when we organize to win, that means the score is more important than the inspiration and motivation that people have to give their blood, sweat, and tears. And when we prioritize resources before will, that's a problem. I've never met a CEO that doesn't believe their people are important. The problem is where on the priority list. You know, you've been to any number of presentations where they put their priorities on the wall, you know, number 1, growth, number 2, shareholder value, number 3, our customer, number 4, our employees. There it is. See, I do care about our people. And the reality is, as social animals, we want to work for and we're willing to give our blood, sweat, and tears to leaders who understand that the balance of those two essential currencies, the balance of those two things is will has to come before resources. And that doesn't mean 90-10. When I talk about putting people before profit, you know, people freak out, which is ridiculous. You need fuel for the car to go. Money is fuel for the organization, of course. Even if there's a leaning, if it's 51-49, there has to be a slight leaning towards people because there will always be decisions that a company has to make in which those two cannot both be supplied and one will have to be sacrificed. The question is, which will you always prioritize? Let me give you a hypothetical example to make my point. 2 CEOs. The first CEO says, our number 1 priority is growth. And of course our people are important because if we take care of our people, we will meet and exceed our financial goals. Second CEO says, our number 1 priority is our people. And if we take care of our people, we will always meet and exceed our financial goals. Which one would you rather work for?
I don't want to prioritize.
I mean, it's obvious, right? It's obvious. So this is what it means to prioritize will over resources. It has, of course, money matters, but the people matter more.
Leadership is wanting people to win more than you want. Oh, it's Nina. Leadership is wanting people to win more than you want them to win with you. It's a super important distinction. Leadership is wanting people to win as humans, as people in their life, more than you want them to win inside your company. When you figure that out, you get people's hearts and souls, not just their minds. I think a lot of entrepreneurs struggle at the beginning of hiring people, and listen, I did too. Where do we go to school for this? Where do you learn about managing people, hiring people? At the beginning of an entrepreneurial journey, you're doing everything, right? I was doing everything. On this channel, I was doing everything. Actually not this channel, my main channel. I was doing everything. I was filming, I was editing, I was researching. In my very first business, I mean, I was doing everything. And I'm sure you can relate. If you're stuck in that phase right now, it's overwhelming to feel like you have to do everything. And if you don't show up today, then stuff doesn't get done for your business. And then we have this magical moment that happens where we get to hire our first person. You know, it's like, this person's gonna ease so much of my time. You know, they're gonna take away all of these responsibilities from me so I can focus on bigger things and they can work on their thing. And we often don't make enough time for the training, for caring about them as humans, just for leadership and mentorship. They're not a robot. You know, the people who you hire are not machines. They are humans. They have issues. They have sensitivities. They need guidance. They need your support. And when you first hire somebody, it actually takes more time out of your calendar than what it did when you're by yourself. This is at a very important phase where a lot of entrepreneurs stop, is because you hire somebody, you don't know how to hire somebody, first of all, and so you hire the wrong person. Then you think, okay, well, this person's gonna take away all of my responsibilities, or at least the ones that I don't like, so you give it to them, they don't perform, you're not making time to train and manage them, and then they leave, or you fire them, and you end up saying, I'm just gonna go do it all myself, because at least that was reliable and consistent. If you got a big mission, you have to do this beyond yourself. You need to build a team. If you look at everything I've built up, and we've got 30 people, something on the team, it's not possible without them. I mean, to make all of the videos that I do is not possible. It just wouldn't happen. I need my team. Everybody plays an important role on the team to make the content happen, to make the wheels run. And I might be the most visible person, I guess, on the team. I'm the only one in front of the camera here talking, but everybody has a super important role on the team. And so I think step one is just figuring out the shift in the mindset of bringing somebody on. This is a human being. I need to care about them. I need to mentor them. I need to guide them. I want them to win as a person, even if that means without being a part of my company. Maybe the best thing for them is to leave. And you need to make time to train them, to spend effort to explain how things happen in your company. Don't just expect them to come over and just crush it from day one. It will take more time in the first couple months of working with somebody than afterwards. Like, if you get the right person and it works out and they're trained and they're humming along, that's magical. You know, it's great. It frees up so much of your time. But there's a bridge to cross to get there. And a lot of entrepreneurs don't ever cross that bridge, and you end up going back to doing everything yourself. You can't. You have to recognize your mission is too important for you to do it all yourself. There's a guy on my team, or used to be on my team. His name was Ahmed. So Ahmed, you might recognize in the comments, for any of the hardcore fans, he was signing off as Don Don in the comments. So I believe that we should have every comment responded to, and I respond to a bunch, and I have someone on my team help me respond to comments as well. And so Ahmed was on my team, and one of the first things I do when we hire somebody new, Nina does all the hiring now. I mean, I hired everybody from the start, but now Nina's taken over that role. And as soon as we hire somebody, I hop on a call with them. We do a Zoom call, usually on a Sunday morning. I grab some coffee and just sit down with them and ask them about their life and their goals and their ambitions and what they want to learn and how they found us and where they're from, and just their backstory and how they got interested in this thing and what else do they want to learn and get interested in. And a lot of times people have cried on those calls because no boss has ever spent so much time just getting to know them as a human. Because it deeply matters to me that you enjoy your work and that you're getting growth out of it if you're on my team. It's really important to me. I want to try to build a life that you're happy with, that also fits inside of what I'm trying to accomplish, right? There has to be an alignment. If you want to be doing something that I can't help with, you should go off and do that thing, and I'll push you to go off and do it. And so I'm sitting here talking to Ahmed. We just hired him, and first off, I find out that he likes to be called Don Don. D-O-N, that's the nickname that he had. He didn't want to be called Ahmed as much. He's fine with it. It's okay. You can call him that if you want, but his friends call him Don Don. It's like, you know what? Let's call you Don Don. I'm fine with that. No problem. I mean, we'll have to adjust internally, just names on files and things, but if you would rather be called Don Don, let's call you Don Don. Then I asked him, when you're doing the comments, would you rather sign off every time in the comments? If it's me, there's no name, but if it's somebody else, it puts their name on it. So we know that you guys know if it's me responding personally or somebody else on my team. Do you want to change your name to Don Don in the comments instead of Ahmed? He said, that'd be great. Okay, great, no problem. Like, starting now, do that. Something like that is just, it feels minor, it feels trivial, but it actually makes a big difference. Because they get to own it. For him, that identity makes a big difference. And he would have done Ahmed, that would have been fine for him. But the fact that, the people that he's working with took the time to care, to listen, to customize, to personalize, really makes a big difference for him. Another question I always ask people is, how many hours do you want to work? So some people want to work 35 hours a week. Some people want to work 60 hours per week. Some people want to work 10 hours per week. Like, how many hours do you want to work? And every time I sit down with somebody, I'm always asking that question. How many hours do you want to work? And where are we now? And are we filling up your hours? I'm usually not the direct report now. Nina is often the direct report, or Ivan or somebody else on my team is direct report. So I don't even have line of sight on what they're fully doing. You know, as you scale up with your team, you know, if you got 2 people working for you, they both report to you, obviously. But as you grow, I can't manage 30 people directly reporting to me. So there's layers. So I don't even really know what they're doing on a day-to-day basis, right? I trust Nina and Ivan and the team to figure that out. But I do care about how happy they are. I do care about how many hours they're working. And if that's what they still want. Say, hey, you're working 40 hours a week. Is that good for you? Do you like that? And sometimes people will say, hey, I would love to work 30 hours because I want to go back to school and I need more time to study. Or some people might say, no, I'd actually love to work 60 hours. And how can we make that happen? Because I want to be making more. It's like, okay, let's work a plan. I can't guarantee that tomorrow, but if you want to be here and you're only here, how do we make that happen? And what adjustments do we need to make that plan a reality for you? Another question I always ask is, what are you interested in doing? What did you go to school for? What do you want to do? What's in the back of your mind? What are you passionate about? What do you want to learn? I think everything is teachable. Whatever skill set you want to learn, I think it's teachable. I think it's learnable. So just because you may not have a giant background in it, if it's interesting for you, let's figure out how to make that happen. And often people will jump between different roles because they are curious about something. And if I can find a way to make that happen inside my company, great. If you want to open up a car dealership or something, I can't help you. I don't really have an interest in opening up a Believe Motors. Although that, you know, maybe, we'll see. Believe Motors has a ring to it. But if it's inside the world of what we're doing, if you are doing copy for us and you want to learn thumbnail design, or you're doing thumbnails and you want to learn video editing, or you're doing video editing and you want to learn research or analytics, there's ways to maneuver and to learn. And that fires me up more than anything. Is somebody wants to learn, they don't know how to do it, but we're going to give them a chance to do it. Again, it's something that most employees are not used to. Think about jobs you've had. You've had jobs, you've had crappy bosses, you've had people who didn't care about you. Like, don't be that person. And maybe you've had 1 or 2 bosses in your life who have been great to you, who cared about you as a human, who wanted you to get better as a person. Be that person, right? And so everybody wants growth, everybody wants development, everybody wants to learn. And the more that you can help the team navigate towards that, help them feel like they're starting to live the life that they want and getting opportunities with you, the more you start winning their hearts and their souls and not just their minds. And so going back to Don Don, so, you know, how many hours do you want to work? We figured that out. The name, let's change your name to Don Don if that's what you would love to be called. Perfect. Don Don actually recently left the team because his goal was to open up his own business. So he and his girlfriend wanted to open up their own printing shop, a print house. And he told me about it, and I love it. It's like, hey, if this is your dream to work with your girlfriend and open up a local print shop, I love it. When do you want to open it up? Are you opening it up this week, next month, 6 months? Like, when do you want to open it up? And we created a plan to transition him out of doing the work on the comments. So if you are a fan now of the channel, you won't see Don Don in the comments anymore. You'll see Fab. We love you, Fab. Woo! So Don Don's not here anymore, and we worked a transition plan to help him get out of my company and into his own print shop that he can run with his girlfriend. And I'm pumped for him. I see everybody that I'm with as running a parallel path. You and I right now, you and I right now, we're running this parallel path. You're watching this video. It's a parallel path that we're on together. And you may never watch another one of my videos again, and you jump off, and I'm going this way and you're going that way, and we never meet again. I hope that's not the case, but that happens with people. And some people you're on a parallel path with for life. Nina, I'm on a parallel path with for life. And that's what I see with the people on my team too. We're on this parallel path, but at some point, if you need to jump off and go on your own path, that this joint path together is not actually the right one for you anymore, I'll push you to go do that. You need to get out. You need to go do that thing. And so I'm pumped that Don is doing his print shop. I think a lot of us are afraid. We're living in a scarcity mindset that we're afraid that if we train somebody and then they leave, what's going to happen? I put all this time and effort and money into somebody and then they leave and go do their own thing. Are you kidding me? Come on, where's the loyalty? That's a scarcity mindset. One, I always think that them doing the thing for them is the best thing for them. Two, I think that if you're holding somebody in your company who doesn't really want to be there, who doesn't really feel connected to the mission and they've got other dreams and aspirations, then you're never going to get their best work because they're always kind of daydreaming about something else. And three, there's always other people out there. The abundance mindset is there's always somebody out there who can fill that role. And your job is to go find that person instead of settling for somebody who doesn't really, really, really want to be there. One last super quick point that I think is very important. I've been in this a long enough time now to see a lot of the things come back to me. I think karma is super practical. I think doing the right thing is always the right thing. And it's been amazing how many people that I've helped over the years and then move to do something else, right? It's like not working for me anymore, but off doing something else, that it always finds a way to come back. Maybe it's a week later, maybe it's a month later, maybe it's 5 years later. It comes back in super unexpected ways, in ways that you can't predict. I had a guy yesterday who I hopped on a call with a couple of years ago, and it was just a one-off call, and I gave him some career advice, and I pushed him on something that nobody else was pushing him on, and we turned supposed to be 15-minute call into maybe an hour and a half of talking because I believed in this guy and I didn't want to see him go down the wrong path. And that's it. I don't know that I talked to him. I haven't talked to him in the year or two or whatever since. And then I talked to him and he's now helping me with some of my strategies. He's developed a strong skill set and he's coming on and being a part of the team. And he said the thing that I'm still grateful for is that call that we had, a year or two ago, where you pushed me and you hung with me and you had the patience to stay with me on that call because nobody else in my life could push me like that. Because he's a really smart dude. And he's the most, aggressive and ambitious person that he knows. And so he could always kind of talk his way around things and I wouldn't let him off the hook. And it's fun to see that stuff come back. It's fun to see, if you stick in the game long enough, it's fun to see all the people that you help, the customers that you help, the suppliers that you help, the team, your team members that you help, the people that you help. It's fun to see them grow and learn and get better and come back and say, hey, you were a big part of my journey. It's the most fulfilling thing of all time. And I want that for you. I want you to feel that because I know that you're heart-driven, you've got a purpose, you want to serve, you want to help, you've got a message. And I know that it can sometimes be hard to see the bigger picture when you're kind of stuck in the now. You're stuck in I'm just trying to get my first person and I want them to be good and I'm tired of these people who aren't delivering. It's on you to develop the skill set to become a better leader, to refine your hiring process. And I can make a whole other video about hiring process, but to refine your hiring process, to care about people. And if I had to sum it down to what leadership is, it's back to the statement at the top of this video, which is leadership is caring about the people on your team as humans You want them to win as a person. Because they're around you, they have to win as a human. You care more about that than you care about them winning with you.
Now I've got a really special bonus clip that I think you're gonna enjoy, but before that, it's time for the question of the day. I wanna know, what was your single biggest takeaway from this video and your plan of action for the next week? Put that down in the comments below. When you watch a video and just get inspired, the science says you'll have a 35% chance of following through. But if you get inspired and then create a plan of action for when, how, and where you are going to take action, your chances of following through jump to 91%, Believe Nation. It's not enough to just watch something. We got to create our plan. And when you commit publicly, that number jumps to 95% of you following through. Let's make that happen. Your biggest takeaway from this video and your plan of action for the next week, put it down in the comments below so I can celebrate with you. Also, if you want to have more self-love, self-confidence, self-belief, the science says it can take up to 254 days of consecutive action to build that habit, to create that muscle. So I've created a 254 series where every day for 254 days, I will send you a video for free to help you shift your confidence and belief forward. The link to join is in the description below.
We'll walk into a room and say, here's the problem, here's what I think, but I'm interested in your opinion. Let's go around the room. It's too late.
I would rather take the risk of walking out knowing that I might get moved in a way that I've never experienced before, more than just go and have a nice night out and see something that I know is good.
And people are like, oh, bigger's not better, and I'm better off by myself. You are not better off by yourself. It is absolutely impossible to live on planet Earth as one person, try to communicate to 7 billion, and think you're going to stay in the game. You're not. It's impossible. So you solopreneurs out there, your business model that you created is already broken, thinking I'm going to be by myself and do it by myself. And the proof is in the pudding, because there's 28 million small businesses in America, 22 million of them break even or lose money. Those 22 million all have one thing in common: no employees.
If you want another awesome Simon Sinek video, check it out right there next to me. I think you'll enjoy it. Continue to believe, and I'll see you there.
And upon making that decision, this amazing calm came over me. An excitement even. I was excited to now be there.
If you're not happy, it's because you're not serving.